5. And we're live, I guess. Okay. Let's start off with the, what did I do with it? Let's start off with that.
I've spent year after year in seclusion, not quite the life of a rolling stone, a trick of the light or some kind of illusion. Just like the mountain I stand alone. All I have left here are photographs, keep your memory alive in me. I am a tree that falls in the forest.
Well, if that was the end, that was quick. I didn't think it cut off like that. Okay. Nevertheless, let's go up here with this. Okay. The comment meeting Tuesday night was one like I've never seen before, and I've been at this for over 13 years. I've gone to over 100 council meetings, and we've had more people there last night to speak up for free speech than I've seen since I started yelling 4 years ago, which is great. But what I hope they do is they keep on, because the mayor and council, they know this. I've seen people time and time come down and yell about something, but the mayor and them knows if they just wait and be silent, these people will go away and they'll win. Well, that's fine with some subjects if you want to lose that, but free speech is one we cannot go away. We have to get stronger and bigger and keep pushing till we make her put back free speech. Now, you see that welcome to Fort Worth, discover the modern West. City council city didn't pay for this. Some of those people at the meeting, which I'm putting together a video right now from that meeting, it was a 3-hour meeting. Another thing was, if Maddie hadn't called in all her friends to come in and speak, that meeting would have been cut down to 2 minutes per person. I grant you, they would have cut it down to 2 minutes if we were just there to talk about the real ones, not the phonies that came in and spoke about other things, the diversion, which will be in the video you'll see if you want to see it. I'm working on it right now. I've been working on it all day today, this morning. Downloaded the city council meeting. It's over 3 hours, and going through it and pulling out the sound bites and condensing it down. And it's just it's a lot there, but it's worthwhile watching. It's really worthwhile to watch. And we need to push this mayor into giving us back our old schedule. Not next year, not later, but now. Put it back. And that's what we need to do. And once we do that, then we're back in charge of our city. Otherwise, these people they put these billboards, and they are developers and, realtors and stuff like that. And they make money. They're making money off the city. They're the ones that own city council. City council members and mayor as puppets. They were placed in office. They were not elected. They were placed. And you see some of these people try to talk to them or try to use feelings or religion to get to them. That's not going to get these people. They're plastic. They do not understand that. It's going to take a large group and people just going on and on at them and keep hammering them. Call 817-392-1234 at City Hall. Tell them to put back free speech. Just keep doing it. I tried to call the last couple of days and I couldn't get through. Now, I don't know if they got my number blocked or what, but I'm going to check again. But anyway, so I'm really pleased and I'm anxious. I'm working on that video. I want to get it out, and I'll show some clips from it next week here live too. There's one guy that did there's a lot of them did great jobs, but one I like a lot. He laid it right out. But anyway, when I put this thing together, you'll be able to see it for yourself. You'll see the phonies that spoke there, the people that should be ashamed of themselves and the things they said. They are just ridiculously as bad as the mayor. They are a disgrace to this city. And but anyway, I'll narrate the video and put it out and show you what I'm talking about, the parts I'm talking about. But yet, I don't want to influence your thinking on how to think about these people. That you make up your own mind. If you think they are or not. I just want to point out some facts along the way. Um, so also, I went to small claims court, and I'm just not pleased with the way that was done and how it came out with the jury there. They sure did seem pretty tight. It took me a long time to get to this court. A lot of things going on, so I'm appealing it. Uh, I think our ISD, when they make a mistake, whoever makes a mistake in the applications, this is where the mistake was made. I don't do the application when buildings are rented. I rented a school. They do the application. They're the check the application. And if it all clears and checks, then you get a contract. If it doesn't, and if they were doing their job, there wouldn't have been an error. Not one like this anyway, that they say. So the person was not doing their job. Well, that's not really true. All this could have been a setup just to get to me, or either Gina Bibbins found out about it later and told the school, because they work hand in hand. And you'll see that in this video, how the mayor and the superintendent of school together, they're both crooks. These are birds of a feather flock together. They are terrible. They both were terrible. But and then I've got some good news. It seems like the three I go to is the school board, the commissioner's court, and city council. And the council is the one I'm the most familiar with for years, and I've started going over to commissioner court and school board. And school board is the one where we need to get into. That is the main one. But the commissioner court, I started going there. I felt it was a little bit different. I was accusing them the same as council and the school board, them at having one thing in common, not answering questions. Well, finally, I got a letter from Precinct 2, which is not my commissioner, but she sent me a letter and said, if I have any questions, she'll meet with me. That's anything to do with her job, that her in Tarrant County. I'm able to wave that flag. I'm able to wave it around. And I went after Tim again. That's the third time about Phil Soares, our DA here, and millions of dollars that we're getting ripped off on our CCPD funds. If you look on the back of a police car, you'll see funded by CCPD funds. It was $180 million that was set aside to give to groups to help make our city better. And these groups only made themselves better. They put the money in their pocket. They got more than they were allowed. No one's answering questions. Carlos, District 2 council member, is the chair of the CCPD funds, and he only wants to speak to me behind closed doors. And I'm not going to do that. No way. This is not a behind closed door deal. This is not the private market. This is the city. We are the city. It's a 50-50 thing. I know we say, or in theory, that they work for us. I've heard a lot of people yell that and all that, and you know that you just can't go out and tell them to do this, that, and they're going to do it. But I'll tell you what, when they start respecting us and treating us equal and conversing with us and telling us what's going on, asking us our opinion and treating us like part of the city, then that's all we want. 50-50, equal. We should be. They get our money and they got to do a lot of work, but they get our money too. So we have a say, and then they got to do the work. They have a say. So we both sides have, so 50-50, but they don't treat us that way. It's more like 90-10, them. And that's no good. We got to get the 50-50. And if we get the 50-50 where they answer questions and they don't run away and they're honest and they start doing a job like they're supposed to do, then actually they will be working for us, because that's what they're supposed to do when you're working for us. That is the job. But until then, they're not working for us, and they don't want to work for us. They're controlled by the people that put these billboards and other things up in our city. And some of these groups, I'm learning who they are. And some of these people will be exposed in this video. Some of these people that are those behind the scene that do run our city. And they don't care about the people, the quality of life. They only care about money and power. That's what's matter our council and mayor. These people never had any power before. And you give them a little bit of power and it goes right to their head. And we shouldn't put people in charge of a city with that kind of power. And also, I noticed on the agenda about they point judges to the I can't come up with the name now. It's not the it's the administrator court or anyway, it's the courts where you pay your tickets, citations, and that court. It's not small claims. It's not the district court. Is the I can't think of the name of it, but anyway, administrative courts or whatever they may call it that. But it's where you pay your citations. Well, the council and mayor are the ones that appoint the judges, and they're reappointing the judge to finish out his term for another year or whatever, which is okay. The problem is this mayor and council shouldn't be pointing out or appointing anybody. They're not trustworthy. That's why it's so important that we get a mayor in there that's trustworthy. Because right now they're going to put people in there that it's going to play their way. And when code compliance racks you up the wall, they already got judges to help back it up. So, and there's a lot of money they rip us out of. They're not to be trusted. The whole thing goes hand in hand. And so I don't like council and them being the ones that decide on these judges at all. I don't like them deciding on anything until we get some honest in there. But anyway, from the letter I got from precinct 2, and I've been yelling at Tim, and then this last time I went down to the commissioner's court, I said, this is the third time. It's a two-way street. You lower the hammer on us on how we should behave. The decorum's going to be out here. You put out the rules and really hammered it down and held it stiff to be this way, how you want it. But it's a two-way street. You also got to do the job that you took an oath to do, And 3 times I've talked about Phil Soares and the CCPD funds and the evidence we have. And I think it's because I got the letter from precinct 2. I was able to wave it around at everybody in there and say, this is the first letter, first time. And this is what I'm fighting for above all. There's issues, but over top the issues first is a deal called communication. And we don't have it with council, the school board, but we're starting to get it. We didn't have it with the minister's court. I went there yelling and putting them on the spot or yelling, and it actually had an effect because I got the letter from precinct 2. So, and that had an effect, a domino effect there. Tim's office called me. I could have a meeting with Tim or one of his aides or his secretary, whatever. They were able to set up a meeting and learn more about what I'm talking about here. And that's great. And I'm not going to ask Tim for a meeting. This will be fine. Ruth, his assistant, whatever, I call her back today, I'll call back, and whoever they have available. If they'll just follow through, that's all. Now, I don't want to go meet them, give them that, and it just sits on the shelf. They got to follow through. Now, in precinct 1, Roderick, I think is his name, my commissioner. Now, he started off and he got in office, do the right thing, and I really applaud this at first. He went on a little tour of the districts, going to community centers, like 6 or 7, whatever he laid out a tour like. And that's what I think is a very good. I was really impressed with that. The problem was it was just for, I guess, Photoshops are just saying it because it didn't net anything. I went, I've asked questions. No questions have been answered. I pressed him a few times to get questions. He has never answered. He won't answer. They're legitimate, easy questions. And he won't answer. I don't think he knows what he's doing. And then the people he's got pointed to his board. Well, one is Martinez. She's a council member. And I guess she got to become a council member by being working for him, gave her the inside track to be in there. Secondly, he just appointed Jarrett Williams, which was a council member, to one of his members. So the people he appoints around him are not trustworthy. They're dishonest. They're just part of the game. He's just the same thing. We have got to get decent people in that will, if something's wrong, they'll speak out. And they're not scared to speak out. Nothing in the world is going to stop them speaking out. That's the people that are dedicated to God and Jesus. Those are the ones that will speak out. Money, power, possessions don't mean a thing. You leave them behind. My whole take on everything right now, what we're in is an illusion. And reality comes to you when you die. That's reality. There's no getting around it, what comes. So I'm trying to keep my moral values intact and stuff like that's what I'm working at. And I think that's number one over everything else. Honesty and, and that kind of stuff. But money, power really can warp a mind easily. People hadn't had power before, I know. When I worked for the Rolling Stones, I was younger. And when I first got I was with them for a while, did a couple of tours and worked my way up, and I got a lanyard. I remember my first lanyard I got, and that was an all access. And, that goes to your head too. You're out there, there's thousands of people in the stadium that would give anything to have the access to, and you get to walk right through the crowd, right on to the backstage area, right past, which I have to run back there a lot for business and stuff like that, settling with the band and their management and stuff like that, and reports and getting passes from my employees and stuff. And the catering's back there too, which was out of this world on this tour. I mean, on the Stones tour, the food was great, the catering, and all their opening bands were label artists themselves, like ZZ Top and other bands, and upcoming bands that had records. County Crows, Black Coves, whatever. We had a lot of bands, and so fortunately, and they ate and catering with us, so we got to hang out with a lot of other musicians and stuff like that. So it was a pretty cool time. And the '90s for me, it was real. It was a dream come true to me. So, but to some people, it wouldn't mean a thing. If you're an opera lover, you could care less. Or a country, you'd probably gag your guts out. You wouldn't want to be back there. But if you're a rock and roller, well, you die to get to do what I did. I think almost some would. But anyway, I appreciate that. I had a great life, and don't think I don't miss it. But now's now. And what I want to do to show that I've had a great life, I've enjoyed it, and I'm okay. I want to try to at least, which opened my eyes up to it was code compliance back about 13 years ago. That's what opened my eyes up to the city. And none of that stuff has changed with code compliance yet. There's still a problem. We ain't got nothing rewritten, no rules put in for them. And they kind of go hand in hand with a dictator mayor, because that's the way code compliance wants people to be intimidated by them. Don't question them. Do not, roll over, and don't stand up. Just and a lot of people are scared of them, and that's a shame. You shouldn't be scared of any organization in our city here, and that's my goal. I'm not scared of them. I've got a meeting with a code compliant officer Monday morning, and we'll see how that goes. And that might be a story, but we'll see how it goes. But I've been involved 3 times. People call me, strangers I don't even know, call me, and I helped avert tickets, citations on the spot. Stopped it because I, got on the phone to the director and to the assistant director. So they railroaded me through the courts and did me like crap some years ago when I first got involved. I mean, but fortunately, I have tapes and stuff to prove what I'm saying, what I went through, and it was wrong. It was totally wrong what they did. But nevertheless, instead of wanting revenge, I want us to change the system. Code compliance needs to be changed to code service. Code ranger needs to be demolished. We don't need a code ranger. These are people don't have a life. And when you talk about power, they get a thrill of driving around trying to find things to report it. It's a rush to them. They don't have a life, but that is their life. And that's what code compliance uses people like that to drive around and look for things for them to complain. So and then they pick and choose who they're going to go against. And as long as code compliance has the privilege to lie without any repercussions, that's unbelievable. It's got to be in writing. No lying. That should be a termination. You should be fired for lying. You would be at other jobs, but our city isn't. And all these this video I'm working on, one girl made a point about holding them accountable, which I do want to. When I do put this video, I want to make a point that it's not just they're not being accountable because we don't hold them accountable. Somebody needs to come after us for not doing our job. 95% of people don't vote, don't do anything. 50% are unregistered. This is where the problem lies, right back here. We got to fix this and get people involved, get them know what's going on. That's what I'm trying to do here by putting out, leaflets and stuff like that, and signs. And so anyway, and it might be helping. I hope so. That's all I know to do right now. But also this thing here on YouTube, got a couple more join on. That's anyway, I'm glad to have anybody join in and listen, and maybe we can share. You never know who might listen, who might join in that might start their own podcast and take it a lot further than I'm taking it. And that would be good. Because at the end of the day, I don't care how we get there. We need to turn this ship around. And every big city, you'll notice every big city, this is what happened to Fort Worth II, and it's happening right now. Corruption comes in with a big city, and these people want it to grow more and more. And I'm saying put the brakes on, because that's where you get poor quality of life. The only people that enjoy a big city is those that are making money off of it, and that's your elected officials and employees, some of the high-paid employees and stuff like that. And that's it. And they don't live in it. Some live outside of here and stuff, or and work here. So that needs to be changed. We got a lot of stuff we need to change. We need to restructure the pay to a lot of things. We got departments we don't need. It's costing us money. There's just so many things. Someone told me a lot of the restaurants closed down downtown and moved out. There's just so much because we don't have a mayor. Maddie Parker is not a mayor. She's not cut out. She's not old enough. She's not mature enough. She does not have the ability to be a mayor. And what she did the other night, bringing all those people in from the churches, and I'd like to find out. I'm gonna see if I can't find that clip too and put it in there. That one pastor went live on YouTube calling people to come out and work with Maddie Parker and support Maddie Parker. These people never come to these meetings. They're never there until she calls them to come in. And then they're all thanking her and everything. Okay, so, but anyway, we had quite a few people there. So anyway, I'm lining them up and making a video and doing the sound bite so that people can get an idea of what went on Tuesday night. And I hope that we can have more. I want us to override those jerks that came down there. I'd like for us to be 3-1 to those jerks and make them feel so small, because some of the things they said are just ridiculously. They're just as bad as Maddie. That's how she stays in. People like this around her. So, but I think she's going to leave anyway because of the $2 million in campaign funds. And if you see all the charities that she's connected with, so that's how the money will go back in her pocket. Because when a person at the end, with another what's left, either you roll it over the next time you run, or if you're getting out of it, you can donate it to a charity. And they'll be donated to a charity that she has affiliation with, which will filter it right on through, and she's going to get a hunk of that back. There's no reason in the world why they would put $2 million into her. This is so obvious. When she ran, the first time she ran, they put $1 million. This time they put $2 million. Now, the first time she ran against people that had a little bit of money, 300,000, 400,000, 150,000, and stuff like that. They had a little bit of money to run against her with, and then she got $1 million, which was twice what the election before was. Betsy got in around 500 grand, what it was. So Maddie, we doubled it up to $1 million. And then the next election she's in, she gets $2 million in campaign funds. $2 million. And everybody she's running against don't have enough money for $200 worth of signage. So there was no need. That was just the only reason they do it that way is because these people give them money, they can write it off as a donation to a campaign. They write it off. Then it goes to a charity. And then it goes into Maddie Parker's pocket is where it goes. It will. This woman is crooked, dishonest, stupid for what she's doing, ignorant. She's very ignorant and doesn't need to be there. It's not good for a city. This is not the private market. This is the city. We had to take it back. Fort Worth became a home rule in 27. That's good when we do our job. If we don't do our job, it's not good. So anyway, I think we're getting close to the end here. I got to run down again. I filed an appeal. I filed a suit on the election. I filed an appeal, and this appeal thing is the first time I've gone down this. And this could be more people friendly. It could be, but that's why I'm going down it. First thing I had to pay was $35. She said first, and then I get another. I got to pay another $35, and then I get another one. I got to go to the other courthouse and pay $200 and some odd dollars. I just got another thing in the mail. I've got to pay some more. So I'm leaving here in a minute, go downtown and find out, how much more do I got to pay and how far does this keep going before I get to an appeal court and how much money. They're going to wind up milking me out of $1,000 and I'm probably going to wind up with nothing, not even get to go to court. Now, that can't be right. You should have your day in court. If you spend that much money, you should have a day in court, period. You should have, or either if you're on a trail that does not, if you're suing the wrong person, the court should be able to deny your case and refund your money because you can't sue the wrong people. Like when you're suing the city, if you want to sue Maddie Parker, well, you can't put Maddie Parker down and sue her in the city. You could outside privately, maybe something like that, but inside the city function, you have to sue the city. That's where they're protected. So if you had Maddie Parker down, as soon as they see that, they know you can't do that. That does not go. It's an obviously, and people trying to defend themselves don't know all the rules. So it'd be so easy for the courts to reject it and reject the money right away and stop it right there. And you have to go out and get the right person in, okay, so that you can get to court and be heard. Now, these appeals is that you should be able to get there too, because I don't agree at all with the judge's ruling. And then evidence I put forth helped back that too. They're saying they're not disputing my reasoning why I want to overturn the election. The lawyers for the city are yelling that they I'm in the wrong ballpark, and I don't know if that holds water or not. I did find a post in a paper where a woman in Kingston, Texas, sued the city to overturn the commissioner's election. So there you have an election overturned, and she sued the city to do it. And I think the cities where you'd have to do this to have a re-election would be the city. I think I'm in the right ballpark. Of course, I can't trust our lawyers or anybody downtown. They say it wasn't. They tried to talk me. So anyway, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll go through that. And now while I'm down there paying this one, I'm going to file another one for the small claims court. It's a little different. Now, when you go to a district court, and if you file an appeal, you need to submit all the evidence that you submitted at the district court. You need all that stuff brought up with you to send in, and the reasoning why, and all that, everything. Small claims court, when you file an appeal there, it's a little different. You just file an appeal and it goes from scratch. You start over, which that's fine with me. Started all new and all new in there with that. So it's a little different. So as I learn, as we go on here, and so it's interesting. But anyway, maybe next week we'll see. What I'm planning on is trying to get me a video of the day each day from our local news. That's a jackass video, and put that on to start with. I want to do more of these, but I want to prepare them, and it takes time. If you want to do a good show, you have to prepare it. You just can't pop on at 12 and throw it out there. And there's more you can do. If you want to do a good show for 30 minutes, you prepare stuff. I'm not that prepared. I've been so freaking busy all week. And that's the other thing is, like I said, I do this when I got time. And there'll be times I'll be slow, dead times. I really do it. Right now, I'm just extremely busy. But I'm hoping next week there might be some breather to be on a few times and bring up some stuff and get this video out. I want everybody to see how that last council meeting went. So anyway, I still like to end my show. Well, there ain't nobody better to end it with than Maddie. She's just too young to be a mayor, I'll tell you. That's Maddie Parker right there.
Enough.
You can't take
Don't follow me out. You're done. I don't want you in my face.
No, ma'am.
I want you to be done.
No, ma'am. I'm not done. I'm not done, ma'am. I am not done. I'm a citizen and I'm not done. This is a public building. You do not own it. You do not own it.
You don't have
You do not own it, ma'am. You do not own it.